Today we're going to talk about the Job Tracker setup page. From the main menu, click Job Tracker, then click Setup. We'll start by configuring this first section here, also called Setup. This option is not active, so you can ignore it for now. Below that, you'll find several options that you can enable or disable using checkboxes. These checkboxes let you hide completed or canceled activities, keeping your calendar organized. The Update Future Activities option allows the dates of future activities for the same order to be updated automatically. This next option is used when you have multiple areas in the same order. When enabled, activities are created only for the first area of the order. You can enable all options, select only the ones you need, or leave them all unchecked. Then click Save. Here you can define the installation areas you usually work with. Click New, enter the area name, I'll add Utility Room, and then click Save. Here's the utility room we've created. I'll create another area this time called Office and save it as well. And here's the Office area, also in the list. In groups, you can create groups of users or workers who perform specific roles, so you don't need to assign them one by one. Here, I already have a sales group for sales-related activities. Now I'll click New to create another group. I'll name it Installers, which will include the team responsible for countertop, island, and backsplash installations. Select the users and workers you want to add to the group, then click Save. If you click Edit, you can add or remove users from the group at any time. You can remove it by clicking the X next to the name or by unchecking the options in the list. Next, we have Job Activities. These are the activities you usually perform during a project, such as scheduling a visit, installing a countertop, approving a template, and more. Click New to create an activity. I'll name this activity Layout and choose a color. In attached forms, I'll select Job Form. You can enable notifications and choose how many days in advance they should be sent. Next, select who this activity is assigned to and set the activity status. I'll use Pending. Here, choose the workers and users responsible for this activity. You can also add an activity description and a signing document if needed. I'll enable Send Invite to Customer and include on Quote or Invoice PDF. You can also attach default files to this activity. Once everything is set, click Save. Here's the activity in the list. Now I'll enable Show List of Items. To do that, I'll click the pencil icon, check this option, and click Save again. Later, I'll show you what this option does. Using the mail icon, you can customize the email to be sent to the customer in this job activity. And with the trash icon, you can delete it. Next, we have Workflow Sequence. We have a dedicated video about this on our YouTube channel. If you haven't watched it yet, click the card above. Basically, you create workflow groups using the job activities you created earlier. I'll create one called Initial, then click Save. Once created, the Add New button appears and you can add activities to your workflow. I'll choose Scheduled Visit as the first activity. Here you can decide whether this activity can be created from a quote invoice or as an event. You can enable both quote and invoice, but event can only be selected on its own. Next, define the order of this activity in the workflow. Since this is the first one, I'll set it as 1. This field defines the number of business days between activities, excluding weekends. And this one defines the activity's duration in working days and is required. Then click Save. I'll quickly add the remaining activities. After finishing, click Save. Done. My workflow sequence is now created. Here you can define activity statuses, such as pending. I'll add a new one called Urgent, then click Save. Now let's go to the Job Tracker calendar and create a new activity to see how this works in practice. Here I'll keep it set as Activity, not Event. In order, select one of your quotes or invoices from the list of orders. From that order, choose the area if it has more than one. Set the start date and finish date, including time, or select all day. In Activity, you can choose an individual activity, add a new one, or select Workflow. I'll choose Workflow so you can see how it works. Select the workflow sequence you want to apply to this order. Here you can adjust dates, times, or disable specific activities if needed. After making your changes, click Save. All activities are now added to both the order and the job tracker calendar. I'll open one of them. This is the layout activity from our workflow. Remember the Show List of Items option we enabled earlier? When you open an activity, under Details, all items added to that area are displayed, including item name, description, and quantity. Here you can also change the activity status, area of installation, and assigned to. After making any changes, click Save. Now I'll show you how to add activities directly from an order instead of the calendar. Open a quote or an invoice. In the Activities section, this is where activities are added. These activities were added earlier from the calendar, so I'll delete them and add again here. Click the Delete button in the top right corner of the Activities section to select all options. After selecting the options, click Confirm. Done. Set the start date and time for the activities. Select Workflow, then click Save. That's it. Your activities have been added to both the order and the job tracker calendar. If you go back to the calendar, you'll see them there as well. That's it for today. If you want to see how SlabWare can help you organize and grow your stone business, visit slabware.com and start your free trial today. If you have any questions, our support team is ready to help. Follow the channel, turn on notifications, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. See you in the next tutorial, folks.